Hi, just a quick video review of a watch I've had for quite a long time now. This is one of the first proper watches I ever bought. This is a Casio. It's a MRG, or I always thought of it as Mr. G, but I was probably wrong. This was bought in 2000. It's the MRG-130 and it's in stainless steel. As you can see, it was not a cheap watch. This was one of the watches one of the things I bought with my first paychecks back in 2000 when I first started working after university. It was an expensive watch to me, and it still is, but it's a very nice watch. Instructions for the module, typical of sort of Japanese watches, they give you instructions for the working part, the guts, if you will, rather than the actual model itself. It comes in this rather nice sort of possibly real leather covered cylindrical box. Nice logo there. Pop that off, and there's the watch itself. So it's a pretty hefty watch. It's got both digital, if you can see that in there, and analog display. I think these are sort of the GShock family, but relatively unusual still to this day. I have looked, and you can still buy MRG watches, but they're not £300 anymore. They're over £1,000 really, and they're really aimed solely at the Japanese market. But this was a fantastically impressive watch to me when I bought it. Incredibly thick, massive presence on the wrist. I'll put it on in a second, but yeah, it just is a very, very attractive watch. And this was my daily wearer watch for, well, probably almost a decade. And as you can see, it's in good repair. There's no scratches on the crystal, partly because it's so well guarded by that sort of raised bezel. There's a nice sort of dome to the crystal, and it really gives a nice depth to the dial. You've got nice applied indices, bit of lume on them. We'll see if that can glow up a bit later, but it's not particularly impressive. You've got a backlight to the, you can see that, to the digital display. Not particularly powerful. You've got the standard features that you'll find on most G-Shocks. You've got stopwatch, dual time, and also a telephone book feature whereby you can put in 10 telephone numbers with, I think, a 3-letter prefix to them. It is a fantastic watch. I've always loved this. The only thing that I don't love about it is it's got pinned construction in the bracelet, and sort of early days on this I had a few pins sort of slip a bit loose, so I actually put some proper super glue, just dabbed it into each one, and that solved that problem. Nice clasp here with button release, so it just pinches in these. It's a bit glossy back there, isn't it? Pinches in those. The rear of the case screws on. These little rubber sort of buffers come off, the back of the case comes off. Interestingly, once you get the back of the case off, it's very easy to change the battery. You don't need to send it away really. But the module, the sort of the face all the way through the movement to the batteries, you can actually just pop that out very easily. It's just floating in there. It's a bit weird, I think. Okay, let's have a quick look at the lume, see if we can get that. Bang. 900 lumens into it. See if we can get it to glow. Yes. It's glowing a bit. It's very hard in daylight to get it to show up, but there's a little bit of lume on there. it's good enough to see at night, especially if you've got the backlight. You can just check what time it is on that. But yeah, I mean, this is a great watch. I actually bought a second one on eBay in titanium, which is significantly lighter. It's got a silver face rather than a black face. I gave that one to my dad actually, because he always liked this one. Yeah, it's a great watch. I was very, very impressed with it when I bought it, and remain very, very fond of it. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that was useful.